Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Marvel Studios Iron Man Mark III. This is basically a reissue of the one that came out as part of the Infinity Saga. And that figure had extra accessories, and it was like an updated Mark III, and it was supposed to be the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, the new best Mark III. And it had a lot of problems, particularly in the color scheme and in like stumpy tiny arms and crap articulation. And so when this was announced, I thought, well, surely they're going to update something about it, right? It can't just be a crappier version of the same thing. And thankfully I was right, they did update something. Unfortunately, I was wrong because a lot of it is the same, if not worse. So there's some stuff to talk about, so let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is fine packaging. It is just, run-of-the-mill figure in the box. Hey, look, they put the figure on the side with the opening. That's smart. That's good. Yeah, it's good packaging. There's some, not, like, reference to the actual movie. I mean, they maybe they use this in some kind of promotional material. I think they did for all these things, but this is not what it actually looked like in the movie. And it's funny because the figure doesn't look anything like this. Not at all. But the figure also doesn't look anything like the movie. So that's the thing. But here he is. He is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. He stands just over 17. Let's say 17.3 centimeters. That's going to make him, I don't know, 6 7/8, give or take. Here he is up against Darwin. I think that's reasonable sizing. Maybe not for actual MCU Iron Man, because Robert Downey's not that big, and I don't know how much they fudged his height, but for Iron Man in general, that is fine. Let's do a question of the day. Which of the movie suits is your favorite? Core suits, not like the weird ones like Snapper or whatever. For me, I think I have to go 7, but then I would probably go 3. I like the 3. I think the first look was a great look, and I don't think any toy has captured it properly yet, and this certainly is not it. Now, the thing I said that they definitely improved upon was the paint job for the gold. It's not the right color gold, don't get me wrong. He's way too light. He's like titanium colored rather than gold. This almost looks like the, which one was the collapsible one? Was that the 5? Whatever. It's the wrong color scheme entirely. The red's wrong and the gold's wrong. The red doesn't look as bad on camera as it does to the naked eye, but he's way too orange. He's very coppery. And the gold doesn't have enough yellow. So they screwed that up, but that gold paint just on its own is splendid. This is why I keep saying we need painted figures. The paint looks so much better than the molded swirly crap. That shininess, that metallic reflection is so nice. It looks premium just in the gold spots, even though it's the wrong gold. Look how nice and beautiful that gold paint job is. If it was the right color, it'd be great. Alright, so for the rest of the paint job, they just did a white airbrush poof for his arc reactor. It's okay from a distance. Up close, it doesn't look right. And then for the eyes, they don't have that glow effect that the airbrush poof gives, so there's that. Then they put the black line work on the outer part of the face mask, which is where the sculpt is on this figure, which is just nuts. On the original release, they didn't put the black line at all. And now we have a black line underneath some more gold on the outside of the face mask rather than right around the white parts. So that does ruin the look a lot. It makes the eyes look much thicker, which they were in later movies, not in the first movie. So that's a bummer. Other bits are painted, or at least molded colors. I'm hard to say for that. But it's fine. It's missing a lot of details, of course. And since it's the wrong color scheme, that's a problem. And then otherwise, for the aesthetic, he still has a very thick torso, which is fine, except the arms are still super tiny where they connect to the body. So that it looks very weird in the shoulders. He doesn't have that tank build anywhere except for in his trunk, which makes him look weird. And then his arms are still way too short. Stumpy arms, tiny arms, and a really wide set of hips on his fat body. It does not improve the release at all. This is the exact same figure as before, just with a different incorrect paint job. So aesthetically speaking, he gets like a 3 out of 10. It doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like at all. How do they screw up the colors that much? This looks nothing like the movie, sculpt-wise or paint-wise, but particularly the paint. So that's that. Now, as far as accessories go, you'd think this second release of the exact same freaking figure would at least have the same accessories. No, it has almost none of them. So you get the 2 fist hands, and then you get 2 repulsor hands. That's it. They didn't even paint the repulsors. They didn't paint them. That's it. They didn't paint the repulsor hands. And then you get a set of repulsor blasts that are just plain white or clear, that don't peg into the hands and only peg into the feet. So that's a thing. You're probably thinking, he must have just missed an accessory, that he could not have come with fist hands and repulsor blast hands that can't receive repulsors. No, I didn't. Here's the figure, fist hands, repulsor blasts, repulsor blast hands. There's nothing else. That is it. They did not include hands to hold the repulsor blasts. They're only for the feet on this release. There's no world where that's an acceptable choice. If you have to do that, don't sell the figure. That is absurd. That is absolutely, completely insane. I wasn't paying attention to it when I ordered the figure just because I wanted to review it anyway. I'm guessing a lot of people didn't think that they would do that and didn't even check what accessories are coming, but also they're lying about which accessories come with figures anyway and just removing them. Maybe they did that for this, I don't know, but that's unacceptable. For accessories, minus 1,000. That's the rating. He can't hold his repulsor blasts in his hands, only for his feet? That has to be a joke. Now, as far as the rest of the articulation goes, it's still just as bad as before. He can barely look up. He can look down a little bit. It rotates. Thankfully, the neck itself isn't too bad other than not being able to look up. It actually works pretty well, so that's okay. You do get your full rotation here. The shoulder pads go with the arms, and it's fine. I mean, like as far as the shoulder pad goes, but these tiny, wimpy shoulders connected to this big, fat... Look how big his torso is. Like, that's fine. That's what he should look like. His shoulders should be taking up way more of this area in here. Instead, it's barely connected. It looks nuts. It looks like a little kid's drawing where they don't understand how body parts work. But you get your rotation. Double jointed elbow is fine. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. That's going to be non-functional because of the hand armor. Now for the side, or for the torso, side to side is really nice. Leaning forward, you get a little bit. Leaning back, you get a little bit. You still can't put him in a proper flight pose, so that's a thing. And the rotation, you can do it. For the hips, he has drop downs. Like, what? Okay, they don't go out to the side for crap. You have to flex it to get to 45, so there's that. But with the drop down, you can get the leg up to horizontal, so that's fine, I guess. But it's not like this figure's getting into any crazy dynamic poses anyway. It's not, this is not okay. This is not good. The thigh swivel is crooked, so there's that. Man, double jointed knees with just no consideration at all for what they look like. Look at that. Look at that big flat chunk of plastic. Why? You didn't have to do that. You made that choice. You didn't have to do that. What the heck? Oh man, let's extend his knees to be as long as his shin bones. Alright, and then for the ankles, basically no range, because even though Iron Man's cut to pieces and they could have easily added articulation or soft parts or anything, they didn't. All of this is still just the same standard PVC for the lower leg, and so you get a little bit of range, and that's it. Basically nothing for the ankle rocker. It's garbage. Articulation on this guy is going to get a 3 out of 10. It technically has some, and the neck is pretty decent, other than not being able to look up, which makes it pretty bad. So that sucks. Also, his shoulders didn't look like this in the movie. They didn't look like little balls stuck to the sides with little flippy things on the ends. It looks so terrible. This figure is hot garbage. The gold paint is glorious, though. Love that gold paint. Alright, time for the final rating on this reissue with new paint and almost no accessories and bad articulation and a bad sculpt. Minus 500 out of 10. That hand situation is absolutely nuts. That is just crazy. And then the fact that they re-released a crappy figure with even fewer accessories, that's just nuts. This thing is nuts. Like, he had an alternate head. That's what I'm talking about, not the hands. He had an alternate head. He had different things. He doesn't have any of it now. And he can't use the ones that he came with. What the heck? Hasbro can really just stop making figures right now, and everybody who collects, except for, I mean, like maybe G.I. Joe or whatever, stop making Marvel figures, and everybody who collects Marvel figures will immediately have a better collection going forward. So not immediately, just going forward. You get what I'm saying. It wouldn't be a loss at all. This is just nuts. There's no way anybody can defend this. Call me a hater all you want. Tell me what I'm saying is wrong. How? How is it wrong? Tell me. You can't. Minus 500 out of 10. Don't buy this garbage. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.